What happens when a billionaire who hasn't felt desire for any woman in 5 years suddenly finds his body responding to just one person, his maid? Marcus Whitmore had everything: money, power, success. But after a tragic accident, he became unable to feel attraction to anyone. The most beautiful women in the world couldn't make his heart beat faster. Doctors said it was permanent. Then Claire Morrison walked into his mansion, running from her own dark past. She was ordinary, simple, just trying to survive. But the moment Marcus saw her, everything changed. His body woke up for the first time in 5 years. Only her. It only happened with her. Now Marcus faces an impossible choice: follow the rules of society, or risk everything for the one woman who made him feel alive again. This is their story. A story of forbidden love, courage, and the power of true connection. Stay with me until the end. You won't believe how this turns out.
highlifeng.com.
The lights of Abuja shine bright below the tall windows. Marcus Whitmore stood in his big office, a glass of drink on his desk that he had not touched. He was 42 years old. He had more money than most people could count. He owned houses in different countries. Newspapers wrote stories about how successful he was. But inside, he felt empty. 5 years ago, something bad happened. His girlfriend Sarah died in a car accident. The doctors said his body healed, but something inside him broke that night. It never got better. He went to many doctors in London. He tried therapy in New York. His mother even took him to traditional healers. They all said the same thing. The trauma from losing Sarah had damaged him. His body could not respond to women anymore. Everything else in his life worked fine. He was smart. His business was growing. But when it came to being with women, nothing happened. Beautiful actresses came into his life. Smart businesswomen tried to date him. Even daughters of important people showed interest. But his body felt nothing. They all left disappointed. Marcus told himself he had accepted it. He focused on work. He built his company bigger and bigger. He kept himself busy so he would not think about what he had lost. The phone on his desk made a sound. "Sir, the new maid is here," Mrs. Okonkwo said. She was the woman who managed his house staff. Marcus had forgotten. The last maid left 1 week ago. She said the house was too big and too quiet. Mrs. Okonkwo found a new girl who needed work badly. "Tell her to start tomorrow morning," Marcus said. "I am working late tonight." He turned back to look at the city lights. He did not know that tomorrow would change his life. On the other side of the city, in a small room in Rugby, Claire Morrison sat on her thin bed. She was counting the little money she had left. She was 24 years old. Her father was British and her mother was Nigerian. She was running away from a past that almost killed her. 3 months ago, she left London. She was escaping from a man who hurt her. He left marks on her body and scars in her heart. Abuja was going to be her new beginning. Her father's family lived here, but they did not really accept her after he died. She found this job through an agency. She would live in the house and get good money. Most important, it was a place to hide. She held the job letter in her shaking hands. Tomorrow she would enter a world of rich people. She had only seen such places from far away. She did not know much about Marcus Whitmore. She only saw his face in newspapers. People said he was a rich man who kept to himself. She just knew she needed this job. She needed the safety of his big house. She needed to be invisible, just another worker in a rich man's home. Claire lay down to sleep. She said a prayer her mother taught her. Let tomorrow be better than today. They did not know that fate was bringing them together. Tomorrow morning would bring more than just a new job and a new worker. It would change everything for both of them. Claire woke up very early. Her heart was beating fast. Today was her first day at the Whitmore house. She put on the simple black and white uniform that Mrs. Okonkwo gave her. She looked at herself in the small mirror. Her brown hair was tied back neatly. She looked nervous. The agency driver came to pick her up at 6 a.m. As they drove through Abuja, the houses got bigger and bigger. When they reached Maitama, Claire's mouth opened in shock. The houses here were like palaces. Then they stopped at a huge gate with security guards. "This is it," the driver said. The gate opened and Claire saw the biggest house she had ever seen. It was white and modern, with large windows and a beautiful garden. Her hands started shaking again. Mrs. Okonkwo met her at the door. She was a kind-looking older woman with gray hair. "Welcome, Claire. Mr. Whitmore is still sleeping. Let me show you around before he wakes up." The house was amazing. Marble floors, expensive paintings on the walls, rooms bigger than her entire flat in London. Claire tried to remember where everything was, but it was too much. "Mr. Whitmore is a private man," Mrs. Okonkwo explained. "He works very hard. He does not like noise or disturbance. Do your work quietly and stay out of his way. Is that clear?" "Yes, ma'am," Claire said softly. Mrs. Okonkwo showed her the kitchen, the dining room, and the living areas she would clean. "Your room is at the back of the house. Small but comfortable. You will start by serving Mr. Whitmore his breakfast. He wakes up at 7 a.m. sharp." At exactly 7 a.m., Claire carried a tray with coffee and toast to the dining room. Her hand shook so much that the cup made a small noise against the plate. She put the tray down carefully on the long glass table. "Who are you?" The deep voice made her jump. She turned around quickly. Marcus Whitmore stood at the doorway. He was tall, very tall, wearing a black suit that looked expensive. His face was handsome but hard. His dark eyes looked at her like he was studying her. I'm Claire, sir, the new maid." Her voice came out as a whisper. Marcus started to walk toward the table. Then he stopped. His body went very still. His eyes were fixed on her face. Something strange happened to him. His chest suddenly felt tight. His heart started beating faster. A warm feeling spread through his body, a feeling he had not felt in 5 long years. His hands gripped the edge of a chair as shock hit him. It was impossible, completely impossible. For 5 years, his body had been dead to all women. Beautiful models, smart businesswomen, even old girlfriends, nothing. No response, no feeling, nothing at all. But this girl, this simple maid in a plain uniform with nervous eyes, was making his blood run hot. His body was responding, actually responding. "Sir, are you okay?" Claire asked. She saw how he was staring at her. His face looked shocked, almost afraid. Marcus blinked hard. He forced himself to move, to sit down at the table. "I'm fine," he said, but his voice sounded rough. "You can go." Claire quickly left the room. But even as she walked away, Marcus could not stop looking at her. His hands were shaking. He touched his chest, feeling his heart pound. What just happened? He looked at the door where Claire had disappeared. A simple girl, ordinary in every way. And yet for the first time in 5 years, his body had woken up. In the kitchen, Claire leaned against the wall, trying to catch her breath. The way Mr. Whitmore looked at her, it was intense. It made her feel strange, nervous, but also something else she could not name. Mrs. Okonkwo came in. "How did it go?" "Fine, Claire Lid." It went fine, but nothing was fine. In just 5 minutes, everything had changed. Marcus Whitmore was trying to understand what had just happened to him, and Claire Morrison was trying to forget the way his eyes had burned into her. Neither of them knew that this was only the beginning. Marcus could not focus on his work. He sat in his office, staring at his computer screen, but he saw nothing. His mind kept going back to that moment in the dining room. The way his body had responded to Claire. It made no sense. He picked up his phone and called his doctor in London. "Dr. Williams, I need to ask you something," Marcus said. "Is it possible for my condition to suddenly change?" Just like that. The doctor was quiet for a moment. "Marcus, the mind is complex. Sometimes a specific person can trigger a response when others cannot. It is rare, but it happens. Why do you ask?" Marcus ended the call without answering. He stood up and walked to his window. Below, he could see Claire in the garden. She was watering the flowers, her movements gentle and careful. Even from far away, his body reacted. His heart beat faster. His chest felt tight. He had to test this. He had to know if it was real or just his mind playing tricks. That evening, Marcus went to a business dinner at the Transcorp Hilton. The event was full of Abuja's rich and powerful people. Beautiful women in expensive dresses walked around, smiling, talking, touching his arm as they laughed. A woman named Victoria approached him. She was a model, tall and stunning in a red dress. She had tried to get his attention before. "Marcus, you look handsome tonight," she said, standing very close to him. Her perfume was strong. She put her hand on his chest. "Dance with me." He let her lead him to the dance floor. She pressed her body against his, her arms around his neck. Other men watched with envy, but Marcus felt nothing. His body was cold. His heart stayed calm. It was like dancing with air. After an hour, he left the party. On the drive home, his driver noticed how quiet he was. "Are you well, sir?" the driver asked. "Just tired," Marcus lied. When he got home, it was late. The house was quiet. Most of the staff had gone to sleep. Marcus walked through the dark hallways, loosening his tie. Then he heard something, soft humming, a gentle voice singing quietly. He followed the sound to the kitchen. There was Claire, washing dishes at the sink. She wore a simple nightgown with a cardigan over it. Her hair was down now, falling around her shoulders. She did not hear him come in. Marcus stood at the door, watching her. Immediately, everything in his body woke up. His pulse raced. Heat spread through him. His hands gripped the doorframe. It was her, only her. At the party, surrounded by the most beautiful women in Abuja, he had felt nothing. But here, watching a simple maid washing dishes in the dim kitchen light, his body betrayed him completely. Claire turned around suddenly. She gasped when she saw him, her hand flying to her chest. "Mr. Whitmore, I am so sorry. I did not know you were back. I was just finishing." Her words came out in a rush. "It is fine," Marcus said. His voice was rough, almost a whisper. He could not stop staring at her. Claire felt her cheeks get hot. The way he was looking at her, it was the same as this morning. Intense, almost hungry. It scared her, but it also made her heart beat fast. "I should go to bed, sir. Good night." She quickly dried her hands and tried to walk past him. But as she passed, their arms brushed together. Just a light touch. Both of them froze. The air between them became thick and heavy. Neither could move. Neither could speak. Finally, Marcus stepped back, letting her pass. Claire almost ran down the hallway to her room. When she got there, she closed the door and leaned against it, breathing hard. Her arms still felt warm where they had touched. In the kitchen, Marcus stood alone. He ran both hands through his hair. He had his answer now. It was not a trick. It was not his imagination. After 5 years of feeling nothing, his body only responded to one woman. A maid, a girl who worked for him, a woman he had no right to want. But want her he did, and that terrified him more than anything else in his life. He walked to his bedroom, knowing sleep would not come easily tonight. Across the house, Claire lay in her small bed, her heart still racing, wondering why her boss looked at her like she was the only woman in the world. Neither of them knew that avoiding each other would become impossible. The next few days were torture for both of them. Marcus found himself doing things he had never done before. He went to the kitchen in the morning when he knew Claire would be there. He walked through the garden when she was working outside. He stayed home more instead of going to his office. He told himself he was just checking on the house. But he knew the truth. He was looking for her. Claire noticed everything. Mr. Whitmore appeared everywhere she worked. When she cleaned the living room, he came to read a book there. When she arranged flowers, he walked through the garden. When she served dinner, his eyes followed her every movement. The other workers started to notice too. One afternoon, Claire was dusting the library shelves. She thought she was alone. She reached up high to clean the top shelf, standing on her toes. "Be careful. You might fall." Marcus's deep voice made her jump. She lost her balance. He moved quickly, catching her by the waist before she could fall. His strong hands held her steady. For a moment, they stayed like that. His hands on her waist, her hands gripping his shoulders, their faces very close. Claire could feel his breath on her face. Her heart beat so loud she was sure he could hear it. "Thank you, sir," she whispered, but she did not move away. Could not move away. Marcus looked at her lips, then her eyes. His grip on her waist tightened slightly. He wanted to pull her closer. Every part of him wanted it. But then he heard footsteps in the hallway. He let go of her quickly and stepped back. Mrs. Okonkwo walked in carrying fresh towels. "Oh, excuse me," the older woman said, looking between them. Her eyes were sharp, seeing more than they wanted her to see. "I was just leaving," Marcus said stiffly. He walked out without looking back. Claire's legs felt weak. She sat down on the small library ladder, her hands shaking. Mrs. Okonkwo came closer. Child, be careful, she said quietly. Mr. Whitmore is a good man, but he lives in a different world. Men like him do not marry girls like you. They use them and throw them away. Protect yourself. Nothing is happening, ma'am, Claire said quickly. He was just helping me. But Mrs. Okonkwo's warning stayed in her mind all day. That night, Marcus could not sleep. He stood on his bedroom balcony, looking at the stars. He was losing control. Every time he saw Claire, it got harder to stay away. His body wanted her. His mind thought about her constantly. He heard a sound below. Looking down, he saw Claire in the garden. She was sitting on a bench, looking at the moon. She looked sad and small. Before he could stop himself, Marcus went downstairs. He walked through the garden until he stood in front of her. Claire looked up, startled. Sir, I cannot sleep. I am sorry if I disturbed you. You did not disturb me, Marcus said. He sat down on the bench beside her, leaving space between them. Why are you sad? Claire was surprised by the question. I'm not sad, sir. You are. I can see it. His voice was gentle now, not commanding. She looked down at her hands. I was just thinking about my life. How I ended up here. Running away from everything. What were you running from? Marcus asked. Claire hesitated. She had not told anyone about James, about the man in London who hurt her. But something about the quiet night and Marcus's gentle voice made her want to talk. I was with someone. He seemed nice at first, but he changed. He hurt me, not just with words. Her voice broke slightly. One day, I found the courage to leave. I took nothing, just ran. I came here because I had nowhere else to go. Marcus felt anger rise in his chest. Someone had hurt her. Someone had put fear in her eyes. He will never touch you again, Marcus said, his voice hard. You are safe here. I promise you that. Claire looked at him. In the moonlight, his face looked different. Not scary or hard, but kind. Protective. Why are you being nice to me? She asked softly. Marcus looked into her eyes. He wanted to tell her the truth. That she had awakened something in him he thought was dead forever. That she was the only woman who made him feel alive. But he could not say those words. Not yet. Because everyone deserves kindness, he finally said. They sat in silence, the night air cool around them. Neither wanted to move. Neither wanted to break this moment. But inside, both knew the truth. They were playing a dangerous game. A game where someone would get hurt. And neither of them knew how to stop. 2 weeks passed. The tension in the house grew thicker every day. Marcus and Claire could not hide their feelings anymore. Their eyes met too often. Their hands touched too much. Everyone could see it. One evening, Marcus had a business party at the house. Rich people from Abuja came with expensive cars and fancy clothes. Claire served drinks to the guests, keeping her head down. A woman in a gold dress came up to Marcus. Her name was Jennifer. She was the daughter of a senator. She smiled and touched his arm, laughing loudly at everything he said. Claire watched from across the room. Her chest hurt. She had no right to feel jealous, but she did. She turned away quickly and went to the kitchen. Marcus saw her leave. Jennifer was still talking, but he did not hear a word. His eyes followed Claire. Marcus, are you even listening? Jennifer asked, annoyed. Excuse me, Marcus said and walked away, leaving her shocked. He found Claire in the kitchen, washing glasses with shaking hands. Tears were falling down her cheeks. Claire! She turned around, quickly wiping her eyes. I am sorry, sir. I should not be crying. I will go back to work. Marcus closed the kitchen door behind him. Why are you crying? It does not matter, she said, her voice breaking. It matters to me. He stepped closer. Tell me. Claire looked at him with wet eyes. Because I'm stupid. Because I have feelings for you when I know I should not. Because you're my boss and I am just your maid. Because that woman out there is the kind of person you should be with, not someone like me. Marcus's heart stopped. She had said it. The truth they both had been hiding. Do you think I want her? Marcus asked, his voice rough. Do you think any of those women out there make me feel anything? He moved closer until he was right in front of her. For 5 years, I felt nothing. My body was dead. Doctors could not help me. Nothing worked. Then you walked into my house, and for the first time in 5 years, I felt alive again. Only you, Claire. Only you. Claire's breath caught. What are you saying? I am saying I do not care that you are my maid. I do not care what people will say. I only care that when I see you, my heart beats again. When you are near me, I can breathe again. He took her hands in his. I love you, Claire. I know it is fast. I know it is crazy, but it is true. Tears fell faster down Claire's face. Marcus, if we do this, people will destroy us. They will say terrible things about me. Your business partners will turn against you. I cannot let you lose everything because of me. Then let them talk, Marcus said fiercely. Let them say whatever they want. I have money. I have power. I have success. But none of it means anything without you. You're the only thing I do not want to lose. Before Claire could answer, the kitchen door opened. Mrs. Okonkwo stood there, her face worried. Sir, there are guests asking for you, she said quietly. Then she looked at their joined hands and sighed. Be careful, both of you. Marcus nodded. He squeezed Claire's hands once more. Think about what I said. Please. He went back to the party, but his mind was not there. That night, after all the guests left, Claire sat in her room. Her heart was fighting with her head. She loved Marcus, she knew that now. But loving him meant facing a world that would hate her for it. She thought about her mother's prayer. Let tomorrow be better than today. Maybe tomorrow could be better. Maybe love was worth the fight. The next morning, Claire found Marcus in the garden. He was sitting on the same bench where they had talked under the moon. I thought about what you said, Claire began, her voice steady now. I am scared. Scared of what people will say. Scared of losing this safety. But I am more scared of living my whole life wondering what if. Marcus stood up, hope filling his eyes. I love you too, Marcus, she said. And if you're willing to fight for us, then so am I. Marcus pulled her into his arms, holding her tight. For the first time in years, he felt complete. The next months were hard. People talked. Newspapers wrote stories. Some of Marcus's business partners cut ties with him. Claire faced cruel words from strangers. But they faced it together. Marcus did not hide her. He took her to events as his partner. He told the world she was the woman he loved. Some people never accepted it, but some did. Mrs. Okonkwo became Claire's biggest supporter. Love is rare, she told Claire. When you find it, you fight for it. 1 year later, Marcus and Claire got married in a small, beautiful ceremony. No big crowd, just people who truly loved them. Claire wore a simple white dress. Marcus could not stop smiling. 2 years after that, their daughter was born. They named her Hope. Marcus stood in the nursery, watching Claire rock their baby to sleep. The woman who came into his house as a maid was now his wife, his partner, his everything. Do you regret it? Claire asked softly. Choosing me over everything else. Marcus kissed her forehead. Choosing you saved my life. You gave me back something I thought I lost forever. Not just my body, but my heart, my soul, my reason to live. Claire smiled, tears of joy in her eyes. My mother's prayer came true. Tomorrow became better than today. And as their daughter slept peacefully in her arms, they knew they had won. Not against the world, but for love. And that was the only victory that mattered. Moral lesson. True love sees beyond status, wealth, and social class. Marcus and Claire's story teaches us that. Healing comes in unexpected ways. Sometimes God sends help through the people we least expect. Marcus found healing not through doctors or wealth, but through genuine connection. The end.